Now, I mentioned before the break that there was another team in the National Hockey League that was performing at a really abysmal rate in the Western Conference, and that is the defending Stanley Cup champion Los Angeles Kings. Now, the Kings are just quite the enigma this season. There was pretty much no changeover, if there was any, from last year's team to this year's team. And that, by changeover, we mean transactions with trades or free agents and of that sort, but there really wasn't that much that was notable. The Kings right now, so far this season, are 3-5-2, tied with three other teams in the Western Conference with 8 points in the standings, which is the lowest in the West. Now, only the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Washington Capitals have worse records than the Kings. Now, for some reason, the NHL scheduling has only allowed the Kings to play 3 games so far this season, but that includes an embarrassing 5-2 loss to the Chicago Blackhawks on Stanley Cup Banner Afternoon. Now, let's examine the last year's Stanley Cup Playoffs MVP, the Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Jonathan Quick. He is so far 3-4-2 with a 2.7 goals against average and an 891 save percentage. It's not what he's capable of doing, and the Kings need him to be better. His career averages are a 2.31 goals against average and a 916 save percentage. Now, is the team in front of him helping him out? Oh, no. Absolutely not. We've been watching this for 2 weeks now, and it's largely remained the same for the Kings offense, if you can call it that. The Kings have 22 goals on the season, which is the second lowest in the National Hockey League, only above Colorado, who has 21. As if that wasn't bad enough, the Kings have the second worst goal differential in the Western Conference at -9, with only the Columbus Blue Jackets behind them at -15. Captain Dustin Brown, let's examine the top line here for the Kings. Captain Dustin Brown, 3 goals and 2 assists, but all 3 goals have come on the power play, none at even strength. Anze Kopitar has been the best player on that line in terms of point production with 4 goals and 2 assists, and Simon Gagne, the left winger, has 5 assists and no goals. This is the Kings' top line, and it's produced 7 goals on the year. Now, what about the second line? Jeff Carter, the center, 4 goals. That's pretty decent for him. And then his line mates, Kyle Clifford, 1 goal, 5 assists, and Justin Williams, 1 goal, 4 assists. So it's decent. It's not exceptional, but it's not enough for the Kings, because I'll explain right now. The players in the top 6 lines have accounted for 15 of the team's 22 goals. 15 of the team's 22 goals have come from those 2 lines. Other 4 goals I can name have come from 3 defensemen. Slava Voinov has 2 of the goals, and then a rookie for the Kings has a goal, and then I forget the other defenseman. But that gives 3 other goals throughout the Kings lineup have come from the bottom 6 forwards. That is awful. The Kings can't win if they don't get any depth scoring. The top 6 cannot be the sole breadwinners in terms of offensive production for the Kings. And it's no surprise when I say this that the power play is terrible. And they're not generating many offensive opportunities for themselves, which means they aren't doing enough to force opponents to make mistakes and foul them to prevent them from getting a scoring chance off. The Kings have only had 46 power play opportunities and have scored 5 times. That is good enough for 27th in the NHL at 10.9%, which is terrible. The Kings don't take that many penalties either, but they aren't killing many penalties either. The Kings have been shorthanded 44 times this season and have given up 9 power play goals. And that is good enough for them. It's below average at 79.5%, 17th in the NHL. Now, a lot of people have wondered, okay, why is the Terry Murray offense come back for the Los Angeles Kings? Should we fire Daryl Sutter? No. Why would you fire the coach that just won you the Stanley Cup? And why would you disrupt any continuity that he had over the last season and into this season just because he's not producing? It's not his fault. At some point, you have to think, okay, the players have got to step up. And that's exactly what's going on here with the Kings. They need more production than just from the top six players on the offense and then 3 defensemen. Because those guys have been the main producers of offense for the Kings. If they want to contend the West and, excuse the pun, defend their crown, they have to get more scoring from their top six, even though the top six has been basically the only one producing for them. And I got to say it again, they have to get more scoring from the third and fourth lines because the top six cannot be the only ones producing for the Kings. Coming up after the break, why did the Islanders trade for Tim Thomas?